as creatives, we need to stay open. We need to be very nimble, and we need to be light on our feet and light in our thoughts, just easy, easy. If we hold on to negative emotions very tightly, that is all that stays with us. We create an envelope around us, and we don't let any kind of creativity and positivity to enter that envelope that we create. And that is true for life in general, whether it's business, creativity, or just our personal lives. When we create an envelope of negativity and self doubt around us, it cannot be pierced or permeated by anything else. We just hold on tightly to that negativity. We keep beating ourselves up, and that beating ourselves up attracts even more negativity. And just always remember, if you ever get into that mode, just remember negativity repels positivity and creativity. This is your host, Dyutama, but you can call me DJ. And I love to inspire food photographers to dream. I spent 15 years as an architect studying buildings and constructing hospitals before taking the biggest leap of faith of my life, which was setting up a food styling and food photography business right from scratch. If you're a dreamer like me, wanting to start a new photography business or grow your existing food photography business, jump right into a world where I share practical, actionable strategies to improve your photography skills, to work with clients, make more money, all with a fearless mindset. This is the My Food Lens podcast, and we take you one step closer to your dreams. So let's go. Welcome to another episode of the My Food Lens podcast. And today's episode is something that you absolutely need to hear, because I don't know one creative who has not gone through a situation that we're going to talk about and has not struggled with something that we are also going to talk about. All right. The thing is that as creatives, we are highly critical of what we create, right? We constantly compare ourselves to others, and we use the worst matrix for comparison: social media numbers, number of likes, number of followers. And don't get me wrong, this episode is not about social media and comparison. It's about something beyond, above, and deeper than that. All right. The thing is that we tend to look at others' photos and we feel discouraged about what we create. And social media kind of contributes to that, because we have access to so many photos now, right? Which is so different from maybe 15 years ago. So we wish, when we look at those photos, we wish that we created like them. We tend to compare, right? So we want to create like the photos that we like. We wish we had as many likes as them, right? If they are a big account, then definitely we want as many likes as them. And we wish that we had as many followers as them. And we often wish that we had as many client projects as someone else. And we often wish that we had a hotshot brand to work with as someone else. So comparison comes in many different ways. Sometimes it's the brand, sometimes it's the work, sometimes it's likes, sometimes it's followers. There's so much available and accessible to us online that comparison is natural. It will happen, and it happens to the best of us. All right. The thing that happens is, first, we begin to not like what we create. We are not happy with what we create, and we want a bit more from it. We want to be like that one that we saw. All right. And then we feel even worse when we start comparing it to that one. All right. So what it does is that initially we are not happy with our own work. Then we compare ourselves with others and we feel even worse. Now, if I just removed the idea of comparison and focused on us, like we don't like our work, and irrespective of comparison, let's say you're not happy with your work, leave aside what you're seeing, leave aside being influenced or affected by their work. If we just talk about us, many times we are not happy with our own work. We feel like, the photo just didn't turn out the way we wanted it, or we feel frustrated because we put so much effort and it just doesn't look like the vision that we had. And when we are not happy with our work, when we are not feeling fully satisfied with the product that we have created in the end, what happens is we obviously get discouraged. We begin to lose steam. We feel like no matter how hard we work, we are not able to take our work to the next level, the level that we have in mind. We feel frustrated with ourselves. We beat ourselves up. And as a result of that, we actually don't want to share our work on social media. We don't feel confident putting up our work in our portfolio. We don't even feel confident reaching out to brands. And we actually might hold back from creating more work just because the last photo shoot did not go well, right? So you see, the thought of, I don't like this photo. I wish it was better. I wish I could create like them. I wish my work was better quality. All these thoughts send us to an emotional place which does not serve our creative spirit. And that's the truth. It really does not. As creatives, now this is easier said than done, because the whole reason I'm creating this episode is because I've been there too. I have gone through phases where I've not liked my work, and it has been hard to get past that creative block, that self doubt, that frustration, and holding myself back, and that confidence, that dip in confidence. So the thing is that as creatives, again, this is easier said than done, but as creatives, we need to stay open. We need to be very nimble, and we need to be light on our feet and light in our thoughts, just easy, easy. If we hold on to negative emotions very tightly, that is all that stays with us. We create an envelope around us, and we don't let any kind of creativity and positivity to enter that envelope that we create. And that is true for life in general, whether it's business, creativity, or just our personal lives. When we create an envelope of negativity and self-doubt around us, it cannot be pierced or permeated by anything else. We just hold on tightly to that negativity. We keep beating ourselves up, and that beating ourselves up attracts even more negativity. And just always remember, if you ever get into that mode, just remember, negativity repels positivity and creativity. So if you don't want to get caught up in that avalanche of negativity, in that spiral of going round and round and round, just thinking that you don't like your work, here's what you can do. I'm going to walk you through what you can do and how you can shift your thinking to be able to bounce back quickly from that low point or low opinion of your work and get back into your creative, high-spirited, passionate zone of genius. All right? So the first thing that you can do to quickly bounce back is remind yourself that not every photo will be a masterpiece. Just remember, there is only one Mona Lisa. There is only one The Last Supper and only one Starry Night. So even the greatest artists cannot create more than one masterpiece after the other. So some of them created only one masterpiece in their whole lives. And so can you imagine what would happen if Leonardo da Vinci or Van Gogh would beat themselves up after creating something and not like it? Do you think those master artists thought like that? I mean, they never would have gotten to a place to create so many masterpieces, or sometimes even just one masterpiece. It's the same with us. Remember that not every photo will be a masterpiece. The one that you don't like, just take that as a learning. It's a stepping stone to you reaching that masterpiece. All right. So some people create only one masterpiece and some artists create many. So you can be either one of them. You could create many or you could have one. And many times, even if you look at photographers, there are many photographers that when you look at their work, you're always reminded of that one particular photo, which was a super hit that you absolutely love. And that is their one masterpiece. So whether it's photographers or artists, you can be either of them, either create many or one. It doesn't make you any less. Just remember that you have to create hundreds of photos that you don't like to be able to create one that you actually like. And that is so true. No matter which photographer you speak to, they will tell you the exact same thing. So shift your energy to bounce back, to remind yourself that every work is taking you one step closer to becoming that master artist, that master photographer, that master that you want to be. Every piece of work is equally important. And until you don't create all those pieces that you don't like, you will not get to a point where there is more work that you like. All right. So remind yourself that not every photo will be a masterpiece and move on from there. So that is the first thing that you can do to bounce back when you're feeling creatively low or you are not liking your work. The second thing that you can do is share your work. I know. To bounce back, you need to share your work on social media. Ha ha. And that is something you need to do on a regular basis. Now, this sounds really, really counterintuitive because it is like you don't like it, but you need to put it out. But the thing is, it's really important. And I'll tell you why. The thing is, we are far more critical of ourselves than others. We see far more flaws in ourselves than others do in us. And in fact, sometimes all we see in ourselves are flaws. And everyone has a different eye. The way we see ourselves, or our photo is very different to the way others see our work. And by sharing our work that we particularly don't like, we actually open ourselves to the energy of the universe. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that when we share work that we don't particularly are fond of or like, we are actually open to receiving both good and not so good feedback or comments about it. It actually becomes an opportunity for us to know from others what they liked in it and what they didn't. Most people will not tell you what they didn't like in it. And most people will actually just end up telling you what they like, which is great. It makes us open to seeing our work from someone else's eyes. And to be honest, 99% of the times, others see our work way better than we do. All right. So we might hate a photo, but that one photo might be loved by our community. And that one photo might get us to our next big client. And that one photo might appeal to a magazine and make it on the cover. And that one photo might be bought over by a big brand who would be willing to pay heaps of royalty for it. You never know. You never know. By not sharing your photo, you're actually holding back an opportunity that might have come your way just by putting out that photo into the world and allowing the universe's energy to reach it. All right? At a bare minimum, just by sharing our work, even if it's not reaching the stars, that's fine. At least we can hear what others have to say about it. At least we can hear what others feel about it. And most importantly, we can teach ourselves to share irrespective of the results. So let's say we are not happy with the work and we still put it out and we're like, oh my God, I don't like it. I'm pretty sure no one else will like it. Well, let's just detach ourselves from the results and just teach ourselves that we can share irrespective of what others think because it is still our work. We can teach ourselves to stay nimble, detached from the results, and put our work out there without expectations. This is a big one. We need to be light about it. I mean, if it is received well, great, wonderful. If not, move on and create the next. That's what great artists do. And you are no less than a great artist, my friend. And you should always remember that. We need to stay a bit detached from the results to be able to move forward and fast. That's how we bounce back. Because if you're not being able to do that, how will you bounce back? Rather, you'll spend your time dwelling over not so good work and then pulling yourself down and pulling down every opportunity that could have come your way. So that's a long list of reasons why you should share your work, actually, right? In spite of not liking it and not thinking it's your favorite, because when you hear something good from the world, it might open your eyes and it might actually make you think, that's not so bad. Or maybe it'll make you see all the positives of it and you'll know, okay, so to be able to create something impactful, here's what I need to focus on. So many reasons why you should share your work, and sharing your work can actually help you bounce back faster, no matter how counterintuitive that sounds. All right. With that, the third way to get past the thought of, I don't like this photo is to pause. Pause again. Right now, I said, if you want to bounce back faster and move forward, share your work. But right here, I am saying if you want to really get back on your feet, maybe you need to pause. It's counterintuitive, but again, one of the ways that you can think about it, when we don't like what we create, we tend to actually think that if we practice more, we'll probably get better. So we start working extra hard, putting in extra hours, and that for sure is needed. Many times it is just, chiseling at it, just practicing our skills, getting better, more comfortable with it, and understanding our technique a bit more. Definitely. But sometimes it needs us to pause. And before taking off and practicing day and night, we sometimes need to actually step back and ask ourselves some tough questions instead of beating ourselves up. What if we made ourselves a nice hot cup of tea or masala chai or coffee or grabbed a glass of wine or margarita or a beverage of your choice and we took a deep breath and we just sat down and looked at our photo and without judgment, what if we broke down the photo into light, color, styling, composition, editing, etc., and every little element that has gone into creating that photo? We look at each component, just sipping our beverage with a very deep breath, light and easy, analyzing what aspect of the photo did not come out as we had wanted. Now, it can't be everything. It can't be like, I don't like this, I don't like that. No, there are always one or two things that will stand out for you and that you will notice are actually the culprits for you not liking that photo or something that has not helped you achieve that vision. But this will only occur when you keep an open mind, all right? And also when you give credit to what did work in the photo. So when you're analyzing, there will be several things that will be like, oh, that works. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I like this. Okay, I don't like this. Maybe this is the part that I should have changed, all right? Because you cannot keep creating the same way and expecting different results. Analyzing and studying our work and observing and taking notes about the strengths and weaknesses of our photo actually becomes a guide for the next photo, right? And once you know what is the missing bit in the previous photo, you pay extra attention to it in the next photo, and slowly, you work your way up that skill. That's when you practice endlessly. That's when you work extra hard. But before that, you pause and you check and you analyze and you come up with a study of what actually works, what is the skill that is actually holding you back, all right? Remember, sometimes to move fast, we need to first slow down. Pausing and studying your work will always allow you to do that. And this is not just actually in photography, it's even in business. Many times when you feel like you're at a low, just pause, get your beverage, sip, take a deep breath and analyze what's the strength, what's the weakness, take note of it and move on from there. We just have to learn to stay light, to stay slow, take a pause when needed and move fast when needed. That is the beauty of actually being a creative, that we can make our pace our own and we can drive it in our own way and we can slow down when we need to. All right. So these are three simple but very powerful ways to bounce back quickly and create beautiful work when you are not happy with what you have been creating. An artist's journey is actually long, it's unending, and there's no real destination. There are only milestones. So please don't forget that. All right. Don't be in a rush to reach a destination, because when you reach that destination, you will realize that it was a milestone and you have miles to go. All right. Every photo is a milestone taking you forward in your journey. It's one step at a time. Don't underestimate the importance of creating the work you don't like. In fact, it might be more important than creating the work you like. Just remember, no matter where you are, no matter how you feel, you always have an opportunity to bounce back, stay nimble, stay light, jump high. Remember, your low is only meant to take you higher and higher. All right. With that, if you found this episode helpful, head straight and rate it on the platform that you are listening on. It will literally take you 2 seconds and it will mean the world to me, and it will help me take this podcast higher and higher and higher. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email on hello@myfoodlens.com or DM me on Instagram at Gitama_myfoodlens. With that, I'll see you next week with another episode. Until then, bye-bye.